In this video, I want to talk about reinterpreting anxious attachment when your partner is emotionally unavailable due to ASD. So if you feel like you're constantly reaching for your partner and they're just, not reaching back the same way, then this video is for you. Because what I'm about to say might feel both relieving and a little unsettling at the same time. So what if your anxiety in this neurodiverse relationship is not because you're too much and not even because your ASD partner doesn't care, but because your nervous system is trying to make sense of a pattern that was never designed to feel consistent? And what if the pain you're feeling right now isn't a sign that the relationship is damaged or that the two of you are incompatible, but a sign that your brain is trying to attach to a partner whose emotional signals don't follow neurotypical rules? So stay with me here, because if you can understand this shift, you can start to stabilize something that right now probably feels completely unstable. So let me start with validating the NT experience. If you identify with anxious attachment, you already know what it feels like to overthink your partner's tone, replay conversations, wonder, well, are they pulling away? You feel relief when they connect and you panic when they don't. Now here's the part no one says clearly enough. In a neurotypical to neurotypical relationship, those reactions are often rooted in past wounds. But in a neurodiverse relationship, especially when your partner has ASD, your anxiety is not coming out of nowhere. It's being reinforced, not intentionally, not maliciously, but systemically. Because what your nervous system is experiencing is this: sometimes my ASD spouse is present, sometimes not. Sometimes they respond warmly, sometimes they respond flat or distant. And your brain interprets that as connection is unstable, so stay alert. That's not dysfunction, that's adaptation. Now let's go deeper here. There's a concept in psychology called intermittent reinforcement. It's actually one of the most powerful ways to condition behavior. So when something is unpredictable, reward sometimes, absent other times, your brain becomes more focused, not less. This is why you think about your partner the more they pull away. You feel more attached after small moments of connection, and you keep trying harder to get it right. Now here's where this becomes painful in ASD relationships. Your partner is not choosing inconsistency in the way your nervous system interprets it. What actually happens is their emotional expression is not always visible. Their internal state doesn't always translate externally. Their attention may be absorbed elsewhere, in other words, hyperfocus, and their regulation style may involve withdrawal, not engagement. So from your ASD spouse's perspective, they may feel, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. But from your perspective as the NT, it feels like, I just lost him again. And your nervous system reacts accordingly. Now let's talk about a core reframe. Here's the shift that changes everything. You're not in a relationship with an emotionally inconsistent partner. You're in a relationship with a neurologically different signaling system. That's a completely different problem, because inconsistency feels personal, doesn't it? But neurological difference requires translation. Let me say that again. This is not about chasing love. This is about learning the pattern of how love is expressed. Your ASD partner's care may be consistent internally, but inconsistent externally. And your nervous system only reads external signals. So without translation, your brain fills in the gap with threat, not because you're insecure, but because you don't have a stable pattern to rely on yet. Now I want to talk about where NT partners get stuck, and here's where this becomes very painful. Most neurotypical partners try to solve this by asking for more assurance, expressing more emotion, trying to pull connection out of their partner. And when that doesn't work, they escalate. More explaining, more urgency, more emotional intensity. But here's the problem. That strategy works in a neurotypical relationship, but it backfires in an ASD relationship. And you've been living it, because your ASD partner is going to experience these attempts as pressure, confusion, and emotional overload, which leads to more withdrawal. You get the opposite effect of what you were wanting. And now your nervous system says, see, I knew something was wrong. And the loop tightens. So how do we stabilize this? Well, not by trying harder emotionally, but by creating predictability structurally. So let's get very concrete here. Tool number 1, scheduled emotional check-ins. Instead of waiting for a connection to happen naturally, you schedule it. For example, 10 minutes every evening, same time, same format. And here's the key. You don't make it open-ended. You use structure. One thing I appreciated today, one thing that felt off, one thing I need tomorrow. This reduces guessing, chasing, and emotional unpredictability. Tool number 2, translate, don't interpret. When your ASD partner does something that feels distant, pause before assigning meaning. Instead of, well, they don't care. Shift to, what is the most neurologically accurate explanation for this behavior? For example, silence means processing, not rejection. Lack of eye contact means regulation, not disinterest. Flat tone means neutral state, not emotional withdrawal. Now, this is not denial on your part. You're not trying to sugarcoat or smooth things over. This is pattern recognition. It's time you get good at this. Tool number 3, build a predictable reassurance system. Now, here's something that most couples never do. You define what reassurance looks like in advance, not in the middle of distress. For example, a daily text at a set time, a consistent goodbye or hello ritual, a specific phrase that signals care. Now, this becomes reliable input for your nervous system instead of chasing spontaneous output. Tool number 4, stop using emotional urgency as communication. Now, this one is hard for the NT, but it's critical. When you feel anxious, your instinct is to say something like, well, I need to talk about this right now. But urgency is going to create a shutdown. So instead, shift to timed communication. For example, hey, there's something I want to talk about tonight during our check-in. Now, this does 2 things. It gives your ASD partner time to prepare, and it reduces overwhelm. And ironically, you get more connection. Now, here's the deeper truth that most people don't want to hear. If you stay in this neurodiverse relationship, you will have to learn how to feel secure without constant emotional feedback. That doesn't mean settling for second best. It means building internal stability, external structure, and accurate interpretation. Because the goal is not make them respond like a neurotypical partner. No, the goal is create a system where both nervous systems can succeed. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, yeah, this is exactly what's happening in my relationship. Okay, well, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not crazy. You're responding to a pattern that hasn't been clearly explained to you yet. Now, if you want help actually building this system, that's what I do. I work with couples like this every day on Zoom. There's a link below for private coaching, and I also have Q&A sessions where we go deeper into this kind of work. And if this video helped you see your relationship differently, subscribe, like, and comment. I will read and respond to your comment. Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.